Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from worldwide. I'm Sterling. Thanks for joining the channel again. This show is being recorded for Sunday, December 12th. We have a very busy holiday season coming up, so hopefully everybody's enjoying the season at hand. Just a quick reminder, these shows are for entertainment purposes only, and all the information I share with you comes directly through my guides and angels, extended spiritual team, famous people from history, and so they're for entertainment purposes only. Questions for these shows, we take them from the community board. We usually send out a request for questions each week, usually on Monday, and you can put questions on the community board. That's where we garner all the questions for these shows. And we get asked if anybody would like to book a session with me. It's very easy. Just navigate to sterlingpsychicmedium.com, look for the book online tab, and the whole process is automated. Also, next Sunday, I'll be doing a show with Linda Grindle, the Comanche Psychic. So we've kind of gone to every other week sort of a schedule. So next Sunday is the Sunday I'll be doing a show with Linda Grindle. We're also running a contest. Every time we reach a new level of subscribers, every 1,000 subscribers, we have a contest to give away. So when we reach 20,000 subscribers, we're actually going to be giving away a free Apple gift card usable towards an iPhone or an iPad. And we'll have more details on that as we get closer to 20,000. So for today, let's get rolling kind of on the top 44 countdown of frequently asked questions, along with a bonus question, if you will. So let's get rolling. So first off, our kind of a bonus question, does Ruth Bader Ginsburg have any messages to share with us? She does. She wants us to know that there's going to be a complete dismantling of the Supreme Court over the next few years here. So keep in mind that what you see now, the Supreme Court being highly politicized and highly political, that's going to change over the next few years here. And look for some information coming out in 2022, towards the middle of 2022, that will now uncover some of the dark money and the problems going on with the Supreme Court that will lead to the exit of some justices. So she wants everybody to be comfortable in the fact that, you know, big change is coming and the court will get realigned. And she kind of keeps referring to a dismantling of the Supreme Court. But I guess it's major changes that will take out kind of the political character of the court. So wants everybody to keep the faith. All right, let's jump into our top 44 countdown of frequently asked questions. 44, Sterling. Recently, Devin Nunes quit his job in Congress to go work for 45's media company as the new CEO. How will this business adventure work out for Nunes and Trump? What I'm being told is they're going to try to roll out on several platforms, but they're going to run into a big hindrance in that it looks like no faster than 6 months here. The funding for the media company is going to get challenged, and because of where all the funding came from, the network's going to get dismantled, or they're going to allow it's going to be deemed illegal. So it's going to have a very short life, but it looks like they'll try to deploy on a couple of platforms for distribution, and then it does not even look like it'll even survive up to the midterms next year. No. 43. Approximately when do you see the vaccine mandates and vaccine passports getting lifted permanently? No faster than the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. So you got a good 1 year run here before some of the mandates start getting lifted. 42. With the infrastructure bill, do you see any improvements in public transportation in the U.S.? Yes, larger availability of trains, planes, buses, and driverless vehicles, driverless, buses. So looks like a lot of infrastructure dollars are going to go towards not only bolstering the transportation systems, but making them much more available to areas that are underserved by transportation. Yes. 41. Why don't psychics win all the lotteries? Get asked this question a lot. Well, what's interesting is if winning the lottery is in your life path, no matter who you are, you'll win the lottery because by its very nature, it's a very dramatic event. and affects everybody around you. And there's always life lessons that come through it. So it's not so much being a psychic or not a psychic. If it's on your life path, then you will win the lottery. 40. Is there a connection between the CEOs and world leaders stepping down at the beginning of Maxwell's trial? Yes, they're trying to get out of the public eye. So whether they're in private corporations that they don't want to answer to a board of directors, or in very public roles or in politics, they're trying to step outside the public eye so they can dodge the bullets, so to speak. So yes, there's a connection why many of them are stepping down. 39 in our countdown. Will the big money, 45 donors, individual and corporate, who support January 6th be exposed? Yes. And, I've talked about this before, but as we get into the spring of 2022, kind of the spring into summer, we're going to see a lot of this come out in public. We will. 38 in our top countdown. I have someone in my life who is sure that evil is winning, and I feel deeply that good always triumphs in the end. Am I right? Does good win over evil? It does, because good acts are always aligned to the one force. And whatever people experience, let's say, is evil, and there really is, that's a big topic there. But those are always based on life lessons we're supposed to learn. So good always does win out because it's aligned with the one force. 37. Sterling, I'd like to ask about an experience I had. I was sitting quietly with the intention to hear my spirit guides. Suddenly, I was in a castle-like place with a man dressed in chain armor. He simply smiled at me and said, thank you. And then I was back. I did not know if this was my spirit guide or something else. Could you possibly clarify this for me? What they're telling me is this appears to be a past life connection where you actually help somebody. So this is a thank you from a past life event. And what's interesting is if it was a spirit guide, which they're telling me it wasn't, this imagery or this person would come around quite often. So it looks like a thank you from a past life. Looks like you did a good deed. Congratulations. 36. Does your team foresee a day where Amazon expands its current heavy dependence on artificial intelligence to build its workforce predominantly on robot workers? Well, I do see a large expansion of Amazon using robotics and artificial intelligence to speed up workflow, create better efficiency, and cut costs. But there's going to be a very strong human element still required in the operation to guide it overall. So it won't be a complete replacement, but the jobs where they can increase efficiency and cost cut, they'll use more robotics and artificial intelligence. 35. Can two living individuals make an agreement to rendezvous on the other side and have it fulfilled when that time comes, assuming they both feel the same upon their departure? Yeah, absolutely. And, if it's something that you were close to in life, that denotes that they're probably part of your extended spiritual family or soul family anyway. So you can absolutely make an agreement to rendezvous on the other side. Absolutely. 34 in our countdown. Do you see the public awareness of the presence of ETs among us having an effect on our nation's military defense systems? Yes, it's already started. So this is not something that's coming in the future. The effects of extraterrestrial technology and weapons technology has already started to affect the military in many places around the world and will continue to do so. But I'm being told it'll actually be for the betterment of humankind. So that is bringing technology that even helps counteract certain other types of, let's say weapons or military technology. Okay, 33 in our countdown. Are the allegations against Chris Como true? What do your guides say about his firing? My team is telling me that he encountered a very large element of 45 supporters that helped drive these allegations for he and his brother. So it looks to me like, given some time here, whether this is 6 months or a year, he'll be vindicated. In fact, both he and his brother will eventually be vindicated. But it looks like it came from some 45 sources that in effect wanted to shut them up. 32. Many families fight over wills and deceased family members' property. How do those on the other side feel about this? They have absolutely no connection to any material assets left here on Earth. But what they do want is everybody to live in love and harmony. So their only concern is that families continue in love and togetherness and have absolutely no connection to material goods. And this question comes up a lot when I do sessions with people, and it always gives me a smile because the people I talk with on the other side say, just let her know I have no connection with any of those material goods. So whether it's property or clothing or jewelry, no connection whatsoever. So anyway, good question. 31 in our top 44 countdown. Why are there predators and prey in the animal kingdom, and does that exist on the other side? No, effectively, all animals are part of the angelic realm, so predators don't exist on the other side, but the way that predators interact here down on Earth is all part of life lessons for us. So there really are no predators to speak of in the animal kingdom on the other side? No. 30. Will there ever be a day that the major religions in this world aren't remembered? Well, what's interesting, they're telling me in several centuries, we're going to move to a kind of a space with humankind where an understanding of the one force and the universe and universal love will be the important thing that we live by, as opposed to, let's say, what was written in books around certain religions. So it's almost like a lot of the world's religions tend to come together around kind of a unification of understanding of the universe and love in the world. So that's coming. 29. During an interview that aired on Fox News this past weekend, 45 admitted he fired James Comey because it could have meant the end of his presidency if he didn't. Will this statement qualify as an obstruction of justice and be used to bring criminal charges? Yes, I mean, this is all going to be part of the overall dossier of information coming down in 45, that a lot of this is going to spring. In fact, they just said spring forward in spring of 2022, kind of spring, summer. So it's all coming. There'll be an avalanche of information, and that'll also be part of it. 28. How do ETs conceive children? Do they employ genetic engineering? Are they engaged in parenting together in a group setting? Does birth occur in a laboratory or within the body of a mother? So predominantly, a lot of births occur in a laboratory setting, but there are some species of aliens that can give birth more conventionally. And then once those children are born, they're taken care of by the community, so to speak. So a lot of genetic engineering and laboratory births, but then some species like to maintain more of a conventional kind of birth process. So there's a mix there. 27. When someone is getting ready to transition, are there clues or signs that occur other than seeing family, angels, etc., especially if the person isn't sick? Yes, it's my experience that when it's coming time for someone to pass, they'll start getting clues, dreams, there'll be information entering their dreams, as well as information or feelings they might get in normal life that it's time to complete certain tasks, that time is of the essence. So there are signs the universe will give you, helpful nudges that time is coming. There are. 26. Hello, Sterling. In 1999, after watching the Matrix movie, something clicked in my brain. I started looking at this world differently. It was as if I woke up differently. Was that movie made to wake us up? Yes, the Matrix movies, by and large, and I enjoy them. They're a great set of movies with Keanu Reeves. They're all channeled by the movie makers and storytellers, whether some of them realize it or not. And they all give glimpses into heaven and alternate universes. So there's a lot of reality in those Matrix movies that describes other dimensions, other universes, and in some cases, what heaven's like. So yeah, absolutely. So you woke up to something that you knew inherently from even prior lives. 25. Are all archangels male? No, in fact, I'm being told that there's a very large contingency of female archangels that are very aligned to the one force, They all work collaboratively with the male archangels. And in some cases, the female archangels are even, much stronger. What's interesting? I'm being reminded that even there's an archangel, a female archangel, that follows my wife around. Her name is Venetia. So interesting to know there's a very large contingent of female archangels as well. 24. Does St. Nicholas have a message for us? Yes, make sure that you take time to enjoy the season, but also understand that the love you put out, you receive back tenfold. Almost reminds me of a line from a John Lennon song. But the love you put out, you receive back tenfold. So remember that. 23, in our top 44 countdown. When souls are in heaven, do they look like their previous bodies from their previous life? Or do they look like a cloud or sparkles or a human-made shape? Do they identify each other by the feel of energy and telepathy? Well, on the other side, you can take a human shape, a human form very easily in any human shape or form you like. So it's actually not seeing a puff of smoke or sparkles or something. You actually do see a resemblance of what looks like a human shape. It's interesting. You can utilize the movies, Robin Williams' What Dreams May Come, or even Meryl Streep's movie, Defending Your Life. There's some good references in there of kind of what things look like on the other side. So they're funny references, but there's a lot of truth. Like a lot of storytellers channel information because they're trying to communicate to the people here on Earth what the other side's like. 22. Has there ever been a time when your guides would not answer a question? Not at all, but I'll tell you that timing is always of the essence. So some information may be shared. I just got a cold chill, but the timing is not proper to share that information. So I have to wait for a different time to share it. 21. I know there's already a vaccine for HPV. Will there be a cure for those who already have it? Yes, within 3 to 5 years, we'll see another vaccine, looks like, that'll be a cure for HPV. Yes. 20. What is the cause of the mysterious and undiagnosed illness of Princess Charlene of Monaco? They're telling me she has almost half a dozen illnesses related to infections and operations. And so she's battling, it's not just one illness, but a variety of illnesses. And it looks to me like she's in recuperation mode. And it looks like there's some struggles there, but it's more like half a dozen different types of illnesses and infections. So I certainly wish her all the well. And it looks to me like, she's going to battle through it. 19. Is automatic writing a safe way to communicate with spirit? Absolutely. And it's a mechanism. It's a great way to bring forth information or to channel information from the other side. It's the same way that novelists like Stephen King will write a book, or Paul McCartney will write a song. These are all forms of kind of automatic writing. Let's say, for example, when a song is revealed to you in a very short 5-minute time, and it's a huge success. But automatic writing is a great way to communicate with the other side. It's really just getting in the information flow. Okay, question 18 in our countdown. Hi, Sterling. Every Christmas, I get an incredible sadness. I don't remember having a horrible Christmas as a child. It happens every year. Could this be from a past life? No, this is not from a past life. It's from a current life, but it's something connecting you with some earlier childhood events that somehow the Christmas season is a trigger for that memory. So not from a past life event, it's from a current life event. But I would encourage you to kind of take some time to identify what is it that creates kind of sadness from childhood around the same time frame. It may have been a passing of a relative or a close loved one, but it's really a connection to this life. 17. Are we going to be able to save our salmon runs here in the Pacific Northwest? If so, what will it take to save them? Well, first off, they're telling me that the salmon runs are being directly affected by climate change. It's kind of removing or affecting their habitats. So all the effects, all the things we're doing now just help start to correct climate change will bring back salmon runs. So, it's going to be over the next 5 to 10 year period here with some of the things around climate change and the way water is routed that will help. So the salmon runs will come back, but they're being affected by climate change. Okay, question 16. The Kepler telescope has found planets similar to Earth and other solar systems. These planets are about the same distance from their sun that Earth is from our sun. At some point in the future, will humans be able to travel to one of these planets and live there? Yes, but not for another century, so no faster than another 100 years. 15. Sterling, I was walking with my daughter and saw 6 bright lights standing still, 2 spaced out and 2 below. As I looked at them, they were bright. They were lower than the stars and commercial airplanes. Then, as if my eyes were closing, they shut off and then disappeared. It definitely wasn't a satellite or an airplane. I've never seen anything like it. Was it a UFO? What am I supposed to do? Well, they're confirming for me this certainly sounds like a UFO or a UAP experience. And so congratulations, you witnessed a UFO. And there's not something you're supposed to do with it, but just acknowledge it's an assurance acknowledgement that extraterrestrials are here. But congratulations, you witnessed a UFO. There's nothing you have to do with that information. 14. Can a person learn to convey messages telepathically, or do they need to have special gifts? Everyone can learn to communicate telepathically. This utilizes the same creative center in our brains that psychic mediumship operates through. And so when you effectively open up that channel, you can communicate not only with your guides and angels, but also with other individuals. So telepathic communication is something that a lot of our alien and extraterrestrial beings utilize all the time. And as human beings evolve, they'll use more of it as well. It's not, not just psychic mediums, but everybody that utilizes their psychic mediumship gifts will be able to communicate telepathically. 13. Will cars run on biofuels, hydrogen, batteries, electric batteries, or something else in 10 years? Well, all the above. They're already starting to run on these things. They'll run on a collection of all of these kind of greener technologies. And they're telling me that within about 10 years here, it might be 15 years, that the batteries will be extremely powerful, but they'll get them down to the size of like a bar soap. So a very powerful battery technology that will enable a lot of this green technology to move forward. 12. Sterling, my granddaughter told me that she's watched me since I was a baby. She's also forecasted many things that later proved to be correct. She has identical twin and has stated that they will always be born together and die together. Why is my granddaughter able to do this? And why is it that so often she forgets what she tells me? So this is an example of being an old soul. Your granddaughter's an old soul. And she did, in fact, as part of the extended spiritual family, can certainly see what's happening down here on Earth. As your granddaughter gets older, she'll retain a lot more of the real-time memory she's having, and she won't forget. But she's a light worker. She's certainly an old soul, and congratulations. It's wonderful to have those types of children in your family. It's very enriching to the family. Number 11, our countdown. Regarding soul contracts, I have been through several relationships that were both emotionally and physically abusive, even as a child. Is this a lesson I'm supposed to learn? So remember, everything that happens to us on our life path is part of the blueprint. And traumas aren't meant to break us, all types of traumas, but you're meant to work through that lesson, get to the light at the other end of the tunnel, so to speak. And then as a 360 lesson in life, help others get through similar types of trauma. So these are on your life path and they were predestined, pre-selected, but you're supposed to move through them and help others with similar types of trauma. Number 10, in our top 44 countdown. Some babies are stillborn, others die of crib death. Does their soul decide this, or is it karma? No karma involved here, but this is a life path decision between the mother and the child. So when a child either doesn't go through birth or goes back very early in terms of like crib death, this is a life path decision and a life lesson for not only the mother, but the child. So it is very much a life path decision with a current life, not necessarily not a karmic thing. Number 9, what is the difference between getting your messages and guidance from your higher self versus your spirit guides? Well, your higher self is your spirit. That's the energy component that travels lifetime to lifetime. And it is your higher self or your spirit that's communicating with your birth angels and your spiritual guides. So it's really your direct spirit communicating with your spiritual guides. So it's like a telephone connection, if you will, with your spiritual guides to your higher self or your spirit. 8, our top 44 countdown. What is the cube-shaped object structure the Chinese rover spotted on the dark side of the moon? This is an artifact left behind by extraterrestrials, and it's a navigation point. Okay. 7, when an animal passes, do they return as the same type of animal, like a giraffe returning as a giraffe or a dog as a dog? I've seen this question many times before. For the most part, animals come back as the same animal. However, there are certain species that seem to like to trade off. And what they're telling me, and I've seen this before, is that, for example, dogs and horses tend to transition and exchange almost lifetime or lifetime. So horses may come back as a dog, and a dog may come back as a horse. And that's almost why they have such a close connection here on Earth. So not true of all animals, but some animal species do flip, if you will, species as they go from lifetime to lifetime. 6, I live in Oregon. Do you see any earthquakes happening here anytime soon? Yes, unfortunately, up and down the west coast of the US, there's going to be a good number of earthquakes, and they've already started. So there's going to be a continuing number of scattered earthquakes, and some are going to be, 6.0. They're going to be good shakers. But yes, it's ongoing. There will be. Number 5, do you see labor unions improving and providing better representation? Yes, this will all start for the better, if you will, over the next 10 years here. So a big change around labor unions. And they're telling me as the economy starts to get healthier, being able to pay employees better wages, all this is going to start to help bring everything back to a better equilibrium and a better situation for unions. Number 4, we amass many names from many incarnations. Do we have one core name for ourselves on the other side? No, names are relatively unimportant on the other side. Some people adopt, let's say, a nickname, and they may keep nicknames, if you will, on this side and that side. Remember, names are also tied to energy here on Earth. So a lot of names energetically have a meaning here on Earth. So as we move lifetime to lifetime, we don't keep the same name, and we don't maintain the same name, if you will, on the other side. Number 3, our top 44 countdown. Why do spirits attach themselves to certain people? If you're talking about loved ones, for example, loved ones will attach themselves to you because they care about you. If you're talking about lower energetic spirits, so if you suffer from depression or some other anxiety, you can certainly attract lower level energy because they feel comfortable. It's like attracts like. So, for example, if it's lower level energy, by simply raising your vibration and kind of working through those sorts of earthly issues, those sorts of lower level energies won't be attracted to you. So it's not so much an attachment you can't get rid of. It's almost like to work through. But if it's a loved one, they're attached to you to help you. Number 2, our top 44 countdown. Do you see anything coming up this week? I see more releases and movement on 40 documents for Trump. I see more subpoenas going out. I see good news on Omicron, the variant, and the efficacy of the various vaccines are showing me. So it looks like we're going to have good movement on understanding Omicron and the vaccines. Okay. And number 1 on our top 44 countdown, do you have anything your guides want to share? Yes, be careful who you give away power to in life, because many times individuals give away power to those they believe are loved ones or have their best interests. But many times the knowledge they share with you may be based on fear. So it may become a limiting factor. So the message for this week is be careful who you give away your power to, maintain your power, live in love and light, and work with that to keep you on track. So on that note, I wish everybody happy holidays coming up and season's greetings. If you need to reach me again, sterlingpsychicmedium.com. Look for the book online tab. I want to wish everybody just a wonderful week ahead here. I'll be looking forward to doing a show next Sunday. And I wish you a lot of goodwill, a lot of love to you and your families, and take care. We'll see you soon.